Does your fifth, sixth, even seventh grader still not have their multiplication tables memorized? Well, today I have a technique to show you that will really, really help. And the great news is it's really simple. All you need is either some store-bought or homemade flashcards, a couple of mailing envelopes, and a lot of parental fortitude. Um, and you can help them memorize those. I want to start with first to tell you what I'm going to teach you here today. This is a fine technique to memorize anything that has to just be like memorized. So I'm going to talk a lot about times tables, adding and subtracting, basic facts, things like that. But it can also be used to memorize states and capitals, dates and history, just anything that you want to be like an instant recall. This is a good technique to do it. So I'm going to talk a lot about math, but really this is a good technique to memorize anything. And before I get to the technique too, a lot of times we ask ourselves these days, like, is memorization even important? Like, aren't the kids just going to have calculators and Google and AI and all this stuff too? And that stuff is valuable. And yes, they are going to have those things, especially by sixth grade, at least where I taught middle school. The kids did start using calculators pretty early in sixth grade and always did from then on. So it's a fair question to ask, well, do they even need to have their multiplication tables memorized? Can't they just use the calculator to see? And yes, they can, but memorizing is still really, really important when it comes to what we call fluency in math and in other subjects. There are certain things that kids need to have memorized so that they don't waste any brain power on that thing while they're trying to do a bigger thing. So in math in particular, you can probably recall doing algebra where you're, okay, well now I need to divide both sides by 6 to get my answer. Or my first step even might be dividing both sides by 6. And if you have to stop and be like, okay, and by the time we get that, if that's not fluent, we go back and we divide both sides by 6 and we're there. It's almost like, well, what was I even doing? What's my next step? What was I in the middle of doing? And so not having certain basic things fluent can really interrupt bigger tasks in a way that makes them unmanageable. So it is really important for kids to just look at something like I have 10 times 6 in front of me and just know that that's 60 without expending any brain power. It needs to be like instantaneous. So again, when they're on that thing and they're like, okay, I need to do 24 divided by 6, that's 4. My next step is to add 3 on both sides, boom. And they can just do that and not have the fluency hold them up from a bigger task. It's super important in writing also, kind of say like, well, why memorize any dates? Well, if you're writing a paper on something and you have to just constantly Google dates and who was the general in this battle, you're just constantly breaking that flow of the bigger task at hand. It becomes unwieldy to do those things, and it becomes a real impediment later. So multiplication tables are really important in every future math class. They're also important in a lot of science classes. Chemistry has a lot of math involved in it. Physics has a lot of math involved in it. So memorizing is still really important in certain cases, even in the age of Google and calculators and AI and all these things that people have access to. So that's just my pitch for why this is even important. We start trying to teach kids to memorize multiplication facts in third grade, addition and subtraction facts even sooner than that. And it's a real impediment to them if they don't have them down after fourth grade moving forward. So all that said, what's the technique? So first thing to know, all you need is a set of flashcards. They can be store-bought. I'm sure you can get them from Amazon for just a couple bucks. I have this whole set here. Oftentimes you can check them out from your student school. Or you can even make your own, right? If we're going to just go ahead and do them all, like I wrote 10 times 6 on this one, 60 on the back. You can just start from scratch on that. You want to do 1 times 1 all the way up to 12 times 12 are the typical ones worth memorizing. And you can just have the students sit down and make them. All right, now you're doing the 3s. 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4. Make one all the way up to 3 times 12. Now make your 4s. 4 times 1, 4 times 2, all the way up to 4 times 12. And you want to go to 12 times 12. Perfectly fine if you have them homemade. Perfectly fine if you buy them from a store, from Amazon, anything like that. No different. So you need a set of flashcards and you need 5 mailing envelopes. And on those 5 mailing envelopes, you number them 1 through 5. So I'm going to write a big 1 on one of them, a big 2, a big 3, a big 4, and a big 5. So you need 5 is typically the number of these I use. And so you just need 5 mailing envelopes ready to go, numbered 1 through 5, and your set of flashcards. Here is how the technique works. So the first thing you're going to need to do is quiz your kid with the flashcards through them one time and see which ones they know and which ones they don't. When I say which ones they know, you want it to be like automatic. We're really talking like a second of time. You don't want them doing any real thinking. You don't want them doing any calculating. We teach them lots of these little tricks they can use to get them when they don't know them. This is all about being automatic. I see it, I know it. I see it, I know it. I see it, I know it. So you're just going to want to run through it with them and really try to hold them to like a second, like where they're not figuring it out. It is just in there memorized. So they're like 60, got it. Put it in like a got it pile. 28, got it. Put it in a got it pile. 49, don't got it. Took a little too long. Put it in a don't got it pile. I'm kind of making 2 piles down here. You can't see them, right? Next one. I don't even know. Don't got it. 27. Got it. And you want to go through either all the flashcards or a certain amount of them a first time through, and you want to see which ones they have and which ones they don't. The ones that they have down, that they did have memorized instantly, like 1 minute, you're going to want to put those in envelope number 2, which I am finding now. So you want to put the ones they did know in envelope number 2. You want to put the ones they did not know in envelope number 1, which I have here. All the other envelopes will remain empty for now, and that is your first session. That's the whole thing. Again, you can do all 1 times 1 up to 12 times 12, or you can just say, hey, we're going to do the 3s, the 4s, and the 5s for a while. When we get those, we'll move to some other ones. That's all done. So at this point in time, we have certain cards in envelope number 1. These are the ones they did not know. Certain ones in envelope number 2. These are the ones that they did know. Envelopes 3, 4, and 5 are just empty right now. Let at least 10 minutes go by. It can be a day goes by. You don't want to do it right away, but at least 10 minutes need to pass to kind of have a brain reset. And the next time we sit down with the cards, we start with envelope number 2. These are the ones that they knew last time. We're going to see if they still know them. So they're going to come out of the envelope, and you're going to quiz the kid. 27. Got it. Put it in the got it pile. Got it pile. Cool. 28. Still got it. Going in the got it pile. 60. Actually didn't have it that time after all. That's going to go in the don't got it pile. Forgot it. Had it last time, don't have it this time. So these started in envelope 2. So here's where they go next. If they still remembered it, they're going to advance to envelope number 3. They've gotten them twice, so they're going to keep moving up in the envelopes. Envelope 3. Excuse me. This one we forgot. Anything we forget always retreats all the way back to envelope number 1. So now this is going to join the other ones that they didn't know last time. Envelope number 2 is done. And we're back to envelope number 1. These are the ones that they didn't know last time, and the one they just didn't know a minute ago. So I'm going to put that one in the back, and here we go again. Didn't know these last time. Let's see how they go. Still don't know that one. Put it in the don't know pile. 49. Hey, got that one this time. Didn't have it last time, got it this time. 60. Just did that one a second ago. Now remember, 2 go in the got it pile, 1 that don't. So these started in envelope number 1. So the ones we knew are going to move up to envelope number 2. And anything we don't know always ends up back in envelope number 1. So now, after my second session, I have some cards in number 1, some cards in number 2, some cards in number 3, and nothing in 4 and 5. Let at least 10 minutes go by. Can be an hour, can be the next day, can be breakfast the next morning, whenever the next time you have to work on them are. Now we've got 3 envelopes to do. Each time I go, I start with the highest envelope first. These are the ones we've known the best. Let's see how they go. We run through the cards. Anything they remember advances to envelope number 4. Anything they forgot retreats all the way back every time to envelope number 1. And that's how it works. And then we're going to do envelope number 2 and envelope number 1. Next time we start, we'll have some in 4, some in 3, some in 2, some in 1. So what we're basically trying to do is just keep quizzing the kids on these cards until they get all the way to envelope number 5. And when they come out of envelope number 5, we know them again. We probably know them. If they knew them in 1 second, 5 times in a row that you did the quiz, they probably know them. Anytime they don't, they go all the way back to envelope number 1 because you've got to get them 5 times in a row to feel like you really got it. Now, you'll notice I'm asking you to quiz the kids. Can't they quiz themselves? Maybe, and eventually. The big risk of having the kids quiz themselves is they give themselves a little bit too much grace. They might look at this and be like, 27. I think that was 1 second. Because they don't want to do it over and over again. And I get it. It is boring to memorize stuff. I don't blame them. But they'll often say they had something automatically, or they'll give themselves a little bit more grace than you would probably give them from really memorizing it. And they'll just kind of like advance it up when they don't really know it. So I think it's best if you quiz them because you can really judge, did they know this automatically or did they have to think about it at all? And our goal is to get to automaticity. Now, they might get to the point where they bought into it enough to know if it's memorized or not. That's a possibility. Or if you're doing something other than times tables, it might not be as important to do 1 second. Maybe they're memorizing cell organelles and 3 seconds is fine or 5 seconds is fine and thinking about it's fine. You might get to where they can do it themselves. You know your kid. You can kind of judge, are they trying to get out of this or are they trying to do it with fidelity? That's up to you. But that's the technique. We just basically want to move it up 1 envelope until they've done it 5 consecutive times and they've got it. That's the technique. Small thing to know, like first thing is like a whole set of these multiplication cards is a lot of them. And it may be unproductive to try to work on all of them at a time. So it's possible, like I said, you may say, okay, well, let's do 4, 5s, and 6s till we've got all those. And then we'll do 7, 8s, and 9s till we've got all those. Then we'll do 10, 11, 12 till we've got all those, something like that. Chunk it however you like, but it might be a little much to do them all, at least the first time through. If the fluency is not very good, that can be a lot. So I call that chunking it. Just, pick a certain amount to work on. It's very possible your student knows lots of them and there won't be that many out of the whole stack they need to work on. That's possible too, and that's fine. And again, just to reiterate, this is a technique that can be used to memorize anything. Definitions, like I said, there's just certain times throughout the school career where there are things worth really memorizing, and this will do it. In math, by the time we get to 5th grade, we really need all 4 operations to be quite fluent with 1-digit numbers. So all the multiplication tables need to be known, up to 12 times 12. Same thing with division. I've got division cards here too. That's like reversing multiplication. They need to know those fluently as well at sight. And even same with addition and subtraction. There are still some kids who, when they see 7 plus 4, they're, 8, 9, 10, 11, they're doing that. And you can get flashcards for that as well. They really that's something worth assessing. And if they're still there, that'll cause them the same problems that the multiplication problems will cause them down the road. So we call that fluency in education. Just knowing something fluently is knowing it automatically. There's not a ton in math that needs to be known automatically, but 1-digit stuff like that, by the time you finish elementary school, I promise it'll be worth their time and it'll make all of their middle school, high school math and science classes way easier. And I hope that's an easy technique to do it. Good luck.